I said before, like with retic, those sort of jobs, especially commercial jobs, you can sort of start at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait till 7 o'clock. Like you haven't got loud machines and stuff. So I'm usually done by sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sort of thing. And you've made good money, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So I do have a little bit more time.
So today we're joined by Mark, and you're from WA to Jim's Mowing. You've just, I think it's only 10 years. You've just recently finished 10 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, because I know Jim does his phone calls to 10, 15, 20, 25-year veterans, and he forwards me people he has a good chat with and says, you got to interview this guy. And he forwarded me your email and said, Mark was a builder for many years and been happy doing Jim's Mowing, and you need to catch up with him. So thank you very much for your time today, Mark. We appreciate it.
No worries, Joel.
So, Mark, I've alluded to your former career there. What were you doing prior to Jim's Mowing?
Yes, so I'm originally from northwest Victoria, Swan Hill area, and yes, I was a builder sort of 10 plus years. At one stage, I had the biggest we got. We're a residential and commercial sort of a builder, and I had several people working for me, but it got to a stage where I thought I was working for the employees instead of myself, sort of thing. So we went away and had a thought about it, and an opportunity came from. I've got relatives here. They rang me up and asked me about be interested in coming to Perth, sort of thing. So I had a job to come to it. So I took a punt, drove here by myself, and I was going to the mines actually. And anyway, a friend of mine had lost his who was in Jim's. He had lost his license at the time, and he needed a driver, and I was waiting on training. And anyway, I decided to give him a hand, and I ended up working for him for 6 months. And I loved it so much that I bought the business off him. So so I didn't end up going to the mines. I did the Jim's Mowing.
and how did you find the change from running a building company with a lot of people to doing what you were doing?
Oh, it was just more the best thing about it was like this was 10 plus years ago. So you do the job and then you just put the invoice straight in the mailbox, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So like you're getting paid a lot quicker than being a builder. The principal always gets paid last, sort of thing. So you can be waiting up to 60 days, you know, sort of thing to be paid. And then the best thing about gyms is, if I'm owed money, it's only hundreds, it's not thousands of dollars, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So, but I enjoyed it big time. Yeah, Perth's best thing about Perth is the weather here. So you can wear shorts 12 months a year here, and I'm not a big fan of the cold. So, so I enjoy being outside and stuff. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it was a bonus. I recommend it to anyone who's getting into gyms. Like before I bought the business, I knew all the clients and stuff because I'd worked for my friend for 6 months, you know what I mean? So I sort of knew what was involved, and then, obviously knew all the clients too, which helped big time, sort of thing. So it was a pretty smooth transition.
And Perth's got the best beaches as well in Australia, I think. I don't think there's better beaches on the East Coast.
No, that's correct, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say as well, with your business currently, do you have employees or anything, or is it just yourself still, or how many regular?
It's just me. It's just me. I enjoy that. As I said before, it's less turnover, but it's more profit for me, you understand? So, I just enjoy. I do have a guy that helps me when I need it, sort of thing. So, but he's got his own business. But it's just me, buddy. Yeah.
And types of jobs that you focus on, are you like a lot of guys do like a percentage? I might do 60% just mowing and then do the rest gardening, or what's sort of in your business the split between types of services?
Yeah, I'm a big believer of to be able to make it, you got to be able to do multiple things. So I do a lot of I have over 100 odd clients, but I have contracts as well with the Salvation Army and about 4 or 5 real estate firms. So I'm always doing garden cleanups, hedging, pruning, tree lopping, spraying. I do a lot of landscaping, a lot of lawn installs here. And the biggest one, for 2 of the real estate firms, all I do is retic for them. So irrigation sort of thing. So, because as you know, in Perth, it's just sand. So, it's never ending retic. It's never ending. So I do a lot of that. And especially when it's really hot here, like we've just had a really hot summer, you can't mow lawns when it's 40 odd degrees. So it's a good you can still do retic and stuff and make good money, sort of thing. So yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because it's obviously Jim's mind, but there's so much more that you guys can do in your business, and it's great for you to point that out. And equipment side, what type of equipment do you business? Is there any brands you prefer, or what's your philosophy about equipment?
Yeah, you've got to. I'm a believer of everything. You pay for what you get, sort of thing. So I use Honda and Shindawa, like for me whippersnipper and blowers and my multi-tools and stuff. Shindawa is a really good brand, sort of thing. Obviously, as you know, in WA, everyone uses the roller mowers here, so they're not cheap, obviously. So I've had mine. I bought mine off Shane. So that was 10 plus years ago. It's still going as strong as ever, sort of thing. It does a good job, but I think they're $5.5+ grand now, I think. So but Honda, you pay for what you get. That's basically what I do. So.
And you've been happy with the income over the years from the business in terms of just being yourself, in terms of the profitability? You've been happy with that sort of level?
Yeah, mate. Look, the last 3 years, my income has been roughly the same. It varies from sort of 110 to 120,000 a year. But then the best thing about it too, there's still a lot of cash involved, and it's always hard how much you claim.
Yes.
Accountant's always on to me about that, but so plus cash, which is really good. So and that covers things like groceries and stuff. So it's pretty good. So,
as a single person business, without the stress of employees, without all that other stuff you have to deal with, just yourself focusing on that, it's a very profitable venture.
Yeah. No, I as I spoke to you before, I have another volunteer job, which is like a full-time job.
Well, let's talk about that. So who are you involved with that?
I'm the president of the Kingsley Junior Football Club. It's probably one of the biggest junior footy clubs in north of Perth. We have about 1,000 players, boys and girls, so it's full-time.
Some absolutely massive place, yes.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of my time. So. Yeah.
That's super good, though. You have the ability to be able to, obviously it's a full-time job in itself, being the president of such a large club, plus being able to do what you do and do both, hopefully you're not getting burnt out from doing both, but you can do both. Yeah,
well, as I said before, like with retic, those sort of jobs, especially commercial jobs, you can sort of start at 6 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to wait till 7 o'clock, like you haven't got loud machines and stuff, so you can sort of, I'm usually done by sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon sort of thing, and you've made good money, sort of thing. So I do have a little bit more time to concentrate on football sort of thing. So
how does the footy club take up out of your time?
Oh, it's a 12-month job, mate.
Really?
Junior footy club. We have about 20-odd really members and, just trying to be all over it. I'd probably do easily 10, 15 hours a week. No worries. And this time of year is flat out. Just trying to form teams and get things organised. So, yeah.
Who are some notable players that have come out of the club recently and that's maybe gone to AFL?
We have a lot. We have a lot. We're affiliated with Subiaco here. So there's a lot of those players, which is in the waffle sort of thing. Probably the last one that made Aaron Black, who played
Geelong and Nine,
Yeah, so he's from originally here, sort of stuff. We have a few others, but yeah, we're a big. We have a good program with the Subiaco waffle team, sort of things. We affiliate a lot of boys to there, sort of thing. They're sort of, from the sort of 13, 14 years old. Yeah, they sort of know which boys and girls. Girls is by far the biggest influx of football clubs now. It's absolutely terrific. Like we'll have girls team in every age level this year, so it's just growing bigger and bigger every year. Sort of thing. So, yeah,
it's great to see. It's really good for the game because I'm sure there was a lot of girls watching ones that play and they couldn't do it. Now they can, which is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. They seem to love it, so it's been an actually financially for the club. It's brilliant too, like sort of thing. So no, it's great.
No, good man. You're a good man for doing that. Obviously, clubs like that don't exist without volunteers, and it's as you said, it's quite a full-time 12-month job, and volunteers I've got a lot of respect.
Question what you do, but
I've got a lot of respect for people who do that sort of stuff. And I was going to say as well, with the business over the 10 years, what support have you got from the franchisors and stuff? Are you going to meetings still? Do you keep in touch with a few of the guys, or how does that sort of work with you?
Yeah, look, Andrew, our franchisor, he's a ripping fella. I'll be honest with you, I don't hassle him too much. He rings me once a month or whatever it is. And look, if I have queries, I will, but I'll be honest with you, I don't. I'm not one of these ones that ring him all the time, sort of thing. So,
Nothing like that.
Yeah. But, no, he's there if I need something. But, that's the way it is, sort of thing. I seem to be able to work it out. I think it does come back to what I was saying before, though. Like, I was just so handy. I did 6 months, like an apprenticeship, really. Like, I was trained how to do it properly, and then I knew the clients. So I was on, obviously, bugger all, working for a friend of mine, but it paid off. They ended up buying the business. So now I'm in it for 10 years, sort of thing. So, yeah.
And is there any highlights for you over the 10 years, or just been overall, you've been able to do what you want to do, or what's it been for you?
Yeah, look, I think the best thing, mate, is just everyone's so loyal. If you do a good job, like I do jobs for people like 2 or 3 times a year, but they always sort of ring you back, you know what I mean? Like, you must be doing something right, if you're doing a job. Everyone's just loyal if you sort of seem to do the right thing by them. And, I think that's the best thing about it, sort of thing. So you've always got work. I've never, ever, like, struggled or had to chase work, sort of thing. It just seems to happen. So word of mouth is a good thing, but it's funny, like, you'd be working somewhere, then across the street, it always happens. Someone comes over, and then suddenly you might have 2 or 3 in the street, sort of thing. That's the best way to do it, sort of things. But having contracts, like with the Salvation Army and stuff, have been really good for me, and they've been super loyal to me too. So it's a win-win for both, sort of thing. So, yeah.
A lot of Salvos, we did a charity job for them the other day, which we're going to share on the social media stuff. But Salvos are great. And I was going to say as well, customer service advice. So we have obviously there's a lot of independents now. There's a lot of people throwing their hand at it. Well, what's you, from your perspective in your business, is the difference between, let's say, maybe customer service that Jim's Mowing provides compared to maybe someone else?
I think the big one is, especially as real estate firms, is like the insurance is so good. Like, when I send my certificate of currency and public liability to firms, get picked away straight away because independents don't have that sort of stuff. So, like, it's just a security. And for them as well, like, it's so professional. Yeah, look, if you do the right thing and you wear the uniform and the brand, I'm sure it's all over Australia. 20-odd unserviced leads a day, and in the summer, it's probably up to near 50, you know what I mean? Like, so you must be doing something right. Like, everyone's busy, but like it doesn't matter what it is. If you're in it, you've still got to have a go, and you got to do the right thing. You know what I mean? And if you do a good job, you're always going to have work. So it's the way I sort of look at it.
And what's your best bit of business advice to a new starter? Obviously, there's a lot of new starters at Jim's Mowing, whether it be in WA or other places in Australia. What would be your best, from someone who's been for so long, what would your best bit of advice maybe be to them when they're starting out?
I reckon you just can't do mowing. You won't make it. And I think that's what happens to a lot of franchisees. You've got to be open to other things. Like, retic's a hard one to get your head around. It is frustrating, but it's such good money. And garden cleanups and stuff, being a bit of a handyman. Like, I have a lot of widow clients, where maybe the husband's unfortunately died. And once you've got their trust and stuff, you're doing anything for them. I fix gates, put up clotheslines and stuff. I mean, once you've got their trust. So, because they rely on you, sort of thing. So,
it's a great point, Mark. It's a great point, because as you said, once you get the trust, there's so many things that are just going to, all right, you're my person. What can you do to help me out? And we actually have a lot of franchisees now. It might be the mowing franchisee or the cleaning franchisee, but they're bringing in skip bins, they're bringing in trees sometimes, they're bringing in painters, just because there's their central person that the person trusts and goes to everything. Yeah,
exactly. No, I do a lot of tree lopping and stuff, like all the time. And yeah, as I said, once you got the trust, you're doing lots of things. And it might be, say, an $80 regular lawn or whatever it is, but then suddenly you've tripled your money. You know what I mean? Because you're doing other things for them, and they appreciate that sort of thing. So I think you got to be open to be doing several things to make it, I reckon, sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about your advice for a sea change? So we went from Swan Hill to Perth, the other side of the country, drove over. It's quite a big journey. So what was the biggest maybe changes for you going, besides the weather, going from Swan Hill to Perth?
Oh, look, we got to about Port Augusta, and I was seriously considering if I'd done the right thing. But mate, we have not looked back here. We wish we were here 20 years ago. It's a great spot. It is getting busier, but the infrastructure's a little bit behind now. But it's still pretty easy to get around with. I just find people here are just so loyal, and it's especially for our kids. We've got 3 kids. The opportunities for them, that's already starting to happen. I just wish we were here 20 years ago, sort of thing. It's the best decision we ever made, sort of thing. So, and as I said, I was going to the mines, but now I've bought gyms. It's been the best thing too. So,
And what about your favourite spot on the coast, north or south?
Oh, Trigg Beach, mate.
No, Trigg. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no, it's a good sport for beaches. There, it's always trying to tell people over here, about beaches, and I'm always the same. WA, and I love it. The Exmouth up north, that sort of Geraldton sort of area back in the day when it's not hot. But
no, like we go last 3 years. We've been up to Coral Bay. In July, it's up still 30, low 30s up there, and it's brilliant. It's beautiful.
Beautiful part of the world. Well, Mark, thank you very much for your time today. I know you're a busy person. Yeah, as I said, Jim flicks me emails from his calls, which he does on Sundays, and he said, speak to you because you're a builder doing really well, and he said, speak to Mark, and thank you very much for your time today on the podcast, and good luck with everything moving forward.
No worries, Joel. Appreciate the time, mate. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark. No worries, mate. Have a good weekend. See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call on 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure you leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.